Well, the weather's getting better and better, and that means the big open house and spring sale event is almost here at Berryland Campers. That's right. If you want to see firsthand why I love these people so very much, I hope you'll join me this coming weekend, March the 8th, 9th, and 10th, where you will meet some of the nicest, most professional, and honest people in the RV industry. Now, this is Berryland's 11th annual open house. And as with every one of them, you'll get a chance to check out more than 300 RVs, both new and used RVs for sale. And you and I'll have a chance to visit in person around my virtual campfire. Oh, you know what? There'll be plenty of food too, free food and giveaways, as well as more than 40 factory reps that you can visit with. So mark your calendars. I hope to see you this weekend at Berryland's big open house. By the way, a link for more info is right up there. Also down in the description below. And welcome to today's video, everybody, and to a channel that's been built on trust. I'm the Wingman. I do my level best to provide you with the best, most honest information and perspective possible when it comes to all things RV, I guess, as well as life related, because that's what a good wingman does. And one of the things I enjoy most is actually hearing from happy campers by receiving voicemails from them, RVers who watch this channel and follow my recommendations. Well, I received one of those voicemails recently, and it's quite short, but I hope that you'll listen to it and hang with me afterwards. I think that you'll get a better idea of why I recommend the RV dealers I do.
This is Sheena and Jeff Votal from New Brunswick, Texas, and we use PPL Motorhomes to purchase not one, but two of our RVs. We've had a wonderful experience in not only all their sales department, but down to the finance department. The atmosphere is great. The service guys are great. Everyone in there just has great personalities, great demeanor, and makes this a wonderful, very easy experience with zero pressure. We definitely will be using them anytime we find ourselves in need to sell or purchase an RV. Thanks.
All right, so full transparency here. PPL used to be an advertiser on my radio show. They did, but they don't advertise with me anymore. Yes, I do consulting work with PPL, and I also enthusiastically recommend them. And I'm not being paid one more dime for doing the rest of this video. I just want you to know that in advance. Now, that said, I set up this interview with Scott Stonehill over at PPL and started our conversation discussing voicemails like the one you just heard and how it seems that they always seem to take care of their customers. So it's like a process. I mean, y'all walk them through instead of rushing them through. And they talk about you taking the time on the final walkthrough to go over everything because you want happy people. And it makes me feel good to refer people to a dealer that takes the time and has the team that we're going to go from here to here to here, and they feel good about their decision.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things that we do for the seller, number one, is we have a 20-point inspection that we go over, that we let them know that these are the items that we're telling the buyer will be working when you pick up this unit. So we tell our seller when we check this unit out, if one of those 20 things are not working at the time of checkout, we will be calling the seller to discuss with them what we need to do to repair whatever that item is. We also let the buyers know these are only the 20 things that are going to be checked on this unit, and we guarantee that these 20 things will be working at the time you take delivery. So we're very consistent with that message with both the sellers and the buyers. But we want to make sure that that unit is operational, that you can take it straight to the campground and go use it when you leave our lot.
So what happens if I'm a buyer and I find, the perfect coach or fifth wheel, whatever, I find the unit that I want to buy and the inspection turns up, there's a problem, air conditioner or a refrigerator, whatever, there's some kind of an issue on your 20-point inspection, but I pretty well committed. I want to buy this thing. How does that work? Because I know that you want to put the deal together. I would imagine you call up the seller and say, how does it work?
We do call the seller. The other thing that a lot of sellers do is they have extended service contracts on their units. We recommend that they don't cancel those until the unit actually sells. So if we need to, we can go back and utilize their extended service contract in order to get those units repaired and collect the money from the extended service company rather than from the seller themselves. Now, if they don't have an extended service contract, we do a thorough estimate. We call the seller back and say, we have a buyer who's committed to purchase this unit, but your air conditioner is not working. We plugged it in and did the test. Air conditioner has failed. This is the cost of the repair. Do you want us to go ahead and fix it? But we're going to need to repair that unit in order to continue the sale with the buyer. Most of the time, the seller is ready to move forward, and they're going to go ahead and approve that repair. If they don't approve the repair, then we have to go back to the buyer and say, the seller's declined to repair this item. This is what it costs to repair it. Do you want to pay for the repair in order to get this unit? And then they can decide one way or the other, if they want to do that.
It would seem to me that if I was a seller, I'd try to get out of, I don't want to fix that thing. But at some point, if that's one of those 20 things that you guys go through, at some point that seller's going to have to recognize that problem. And probably most of the time, like you said, the seller fixes it, but they don't always fix it, and they don't always agree to pay for it.
They don't, but the majority of the time they do, because when we do a listing, it's like listing a house. You remember disclosure items on homes, right? You have to fill out the disclosure paperwork saying that all of these things are working in the house. And then they'll hire an inspector typically to come and check the house out, the buyers will, and the inspector will check everything, and they will come back with a list that says, this doesn't work, this doesn't work, this doesn't work. The realtor then goes back to the seller and says, hey, when we did the inspection, these things were not working, so we're going to need to get these things fixed, or we're going to have to allow a price adjustment in order to get this house sold. Now, we do the exact same thing on these RVs. I'll go back to the seller and say, look, if you don't want to fix it, that's fine. I need to go back to the buyer with some type of a price adjustment in order for them to still want to do this. Typically, the price adjustment will be something in the line of what the repair would have cost. Right. And then the buyer will say, well, since they're going to give me the price adjustment, go ahead and fix it, and I'll pay for the repair at that point. So we work both sides to try to come to an agreement, because we want to be fair to both the buyer and the seller. And I think that's the best way to do business. And most of the time we can keep that deal together and keep it moving forward, and both parties are happy at that point.
Here's the big question. Why does PPL not sell new RVs? It would seem to me, I know that you're the used RV consignment SuperCenter, blah, 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 but why don't you sell new RVs?
I will tell you that has been a topic of contention on the executive board meetings. We have talked about that. The one thing, though, that keeps coming back to keep us centered, so to speak, is, our core business has always been the consignment business. Our core business is helping these folks sell these units so they can exit the lifestyle. Our core business has been pre-owned from our existence. We don't want to be the traditional dealership. We want to be what we are and focus on what we've become and our successes in that. And I think changing our business model to add new lines of product would ultimately change who PPL is. And we don't want to do that. And we've had those discussions. There has been those debates in the meetings. And I think the last meeting that we had was the last time, and we all agreed when we walked out the door, we said, look, we're not going to look for new lines of product. We're going to continue to do what we do, and we're going to be the very best at it that we can possibly be. And I don't think there's any other dealership out there that does the consignment business as well as we do. We just want to continue to get better at it. We don't want to be a new dealer. It just doesn't help us build what we've built and continue to thrive on that.
I love that, Scott. It is clarity. It's sort of like an analogy. While you're talking, I'm going, if Chick-fil-A all of a sudden started selling sushi They say, well, a lot of people like sushi. Yeah, but we're Chick-fil-A. I mean, you're
Right.
PPL. You're the used consignment supercenter, and you're going to stick with it. I think that's a great plan. But that said, and it may be my imagination, but I think that there are a lot of new RV dealers, the ones that sell new product. Consign your RV here. I'm seeing more and more of that. Come, we'll take it. Pay us 10% and we'll take your consignment RV. I don't see that as a good thing. All right, so you'll have to wait for Scott's response to that question, and his answer may surprise you. Now, consignment sales are not legal in every state, but in states that they are, like Texas being a big one, I'm seeing a ton of dealers promoting that they'll now take consignments from individuals just like you, just like PPL does. Are you seeing the same kind of thing? Let me know in the comments below. Finally, I want to clarify that I'm not saying that PPL is perfect. I'm not. But I do know that they are honest, and they try very hard to make everyone happy, and most of the time they do just that. And that's why I recommend them. By the way, if you're thinking of selling your RV or you'd like to try it on your own first, let me show you how easy it is. Just go to their website. Up here at the top, you see pplmotorhomes.com. Look over here on the right-hand side. You see in the green right there where it says free booklet. Click on the free booklet. It'll open up, request, Wingman, request a free booklet. Learn to sell your RV and avoid common mistakes. And they're not going to hassle you and bother you. They'll just send you this little booklet to help you. And then if you decide to sell your RV in the future, you know how to contact them. All right, just go to that page, name, address, city, state, zip, boom, and they'll get it right out in the mail to you. All right, that's going to do it for today's video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, give this video a thumbs up, maybe drop a comment down below. I'm Alan Warren, the Wingman. Be safe, have fun, play nice, and don't leave your good manners at home. Bye-bye, everybody.